What's good, everyone? It's 23MJ88 back with another video today, and today we'll be taking a look at the Nike Zoom GT Cut performance review. As you can see here, I have the USA colorway and the Blue Void colorway of the Nike Zoom GT Cut. The USA colorway has a translucent outsole, while the Blue Void colorway has a semi-translucent. As far as the traction goes, it's a multi-directional traction pattern. There's spaced out portions along the middle, and on the edges, they are a lot tighter. I had not really any issues with the traction pattern. It was great on all court conditions. I found that the USA colorway did collect dust, and which caused me to wipe a lot more often. But as far as the traction goes, it's a harder rubber on the outsole of the Zoom GT Cut, and it just performed great on basically any court condition. As you can see here, this one's semi-translucent, and I just found that I never needed to wipe with the Blue Void colorway. But as far as the traction goes on the Zoom GT Cut, I would recommend these indoor and outdoor, considering how hard the rubber is, and it was just a great setup all the way around. So since there is a difference in depending on which colorway you get, I would have to rate this traction pattern on the Nike Zoom GT Cut an 8.5 out of 10. So for the cushion on the Nike Zoom GT Cut, it is very Kobe-esque in the fact that it does have a drop-in midsole. This is a React drop-in midsole. It's very comfortable underfoot, but the main thing this shoe offers is the Zoom Strobel setup. As you can see here, it's a full-length Zoom Strobel, and then on the USA colorway, you can actually see it. There is a second Zoom airbag in the heel, which offers great impact protection. The forefoot sits very low to the ground, which is super nice. You can feel all the movements, and it's a very responsive setup as well. The drop-in midsole does have grip on it, as you can see here. Some people were complaining that it's just too grippy when you slide your foot in. It actually grabs your sock. I didn't find that personally. Maybe a slight adjustment, but nothing that caused any issues, and it was actually nice because it kept your foot in place. But this drop-in midsole is very comfortable underfoot. You can actually see here, it shows some of the tech specs. The drop-in midsole at the top, the Zoom Strobel setup underneath, and the heel Zoom airbag. I will note as well, on the Nike Zoom GT Cut for cushion, it does offer somewhat of a clunky heel to toe transition, but for me, with the drop-in midsole setup and the Zoom bags directly underfoot, you kind of forget about that really quick because of the plush cushion setup. So it does have a bit of foam, as you can see here, but it doesn't compress at all because it has the drop-in midsole and the Zoom airbag internally in the shoe. So yeah, just thought I would note that, just so you guys know, heel to toe transition on the Nike Zoom GT Cut is somewhat clunky, similar to the Kobe 9, I would say. As far as the cushion goes, I absolutely love it. I had zero issues with it. And for me being in my early to mid 30s, it offers a nice setup where my knees aren't bugging me after a 2-hour basketball session. For me, this cushion setup is absolutely perfect. I've always loved drop-in midsoles on the Kobe 7, 8, 9, and everything after that. This is just a perfect setup because it's low to the ground and the heel offers that extra impact protection. And then you do get the React drop-in midsole, which offers great comfort directly underfoot. So for me, I would actually score this cushion setup on the Nike Zoom GT Cut a 10 out of 10. It's absolutely perfect. I had zero issues with it. Great job, Nike. So for materials on the Nike Zoom GT Cut, on the toe box and on the tongue, it is a neoprene material. And then on the side panel, as you can see here, it's like somewhat of like a hybrid mesh and Flyknit material. This combination offers a great, comfortable fit right out of the box, zero break-in time. It's just like a loose mesh, but as soon as you put your foot in, it just seems to grab your foot. And then along the eye stay, there is a fused portion for extra durability. And yeah, that's basically the setup on the Nike Zoom GT Cut. The laces, I will note as well, are quite a bit stretchy, which is pretty nice because you can really clamp them down and tie them as tight as you want, and it doesn't feel like the shoe is choking your foot at all. As far as breathability with this material on the Nike Zoom GT Cut, it's super breathable. As you can see here on the neoprene toe box, there's actually holes that are cut out right to your foot. And then there's a few holes as well on the tongue, as you can see here. And then the mesh panel on the side offers great airflow. So zero issues with breathability. I actually think this is a very breathable shoe. And it's kind of like hybrid materials where you have the Fuse, the newer mesh / Flyknit, and then you have a neoprene upper as well, which is a little bit different for Nike, but they implemented it greatly on the Nike Zoom GT Cut. I absolutely love these materials, especially for the fact that there was zero break-in time at all. So with this setup on the Nike Zoom GT Cut for materials, it does offer a somewhat lightweight package, not as light as the Jordan 36 or the Kobe 4s or 5s, but for me, it was a pretty lightweight shoe and felt great on foot. So as you can see here, it's a 16-ounce shoe with the drop-in midsole in, and without the drop-in midsole, it is roughly 14 ounces. So that drop-in midsole is adding the 2 ounces there. But for me, 16 ounces, it's not a big deal at all. I think it's a pretty lightweight shoe, great for any guards, shifty guards especially. As far as durability goes on the materials, I've had zero issues. I've played in this colorway probably the most, and the only thing that's kind of changing on me is the outsole color. It's starting to turn yellow a bit. But as far as the mesh and the neoprene, yeah, it shows a little bit of wear, but it's not ripping anywhere. I probably played about 20 to 25 hours in this colorway and about 10 to 15 in the Blue Void. But as far as materials go on these, they're absolutely fantastic. And I just love the broken-in feeling right out of the box. So for materials on the Nike Zoom GT Cut, since it offered a broken-in feeling directly out of box and felt great on foot right from the get-go, I would be comfortable rating these an absolute 10 out of 10 for material. So for the fit on the Nike Zoom GT Cut, I would say it runs true to size, so just get whatever you usually get in your Nike basketball shoes. My toe is basically sitting right at this line here on the neoprene toe box, and I would actually say for fit, this is actually somewhat wide foot friendly as well. As you can see, it's not as narrow as the Jordan 36 at all, and it actually has a detached tongue, so it's great for adjusting to all shapes and sizes of feet. So you can kind of wrap the neoprene tongue around the foot as you see fit, and it just offers that great broken-in feeling right out of the box. So I would say the fit is not as good as a one-to-one fit as the Jordan 36, but it's up there. It's a fantastic fit. I would give the Nike Zoom GT Cut an 8.5 out of 10 for fit. So on the Nike Zoom GT Cut for support, it does have a plastic 4-foot cage. It's kind of like a clip. Similar there, I remember on the Kobe 10, it had like a really small clip. This one extends a bit. And as far as lateral containment, the clip and your foot actually sitting within the drop-in midsole and actually sitting basically about halfway through the heel, it offers great lateral containment, zero issues at all. And on the outsole, there is a torsional plate right around this Zoom Strobel setup, and that offers fantastic torsional rigidity, which is great for shifty guards. And the shoe does have a pretty good flexible outsole and midsole, but as you can see here, it does not flex around that torsional plate, which is exactly what you want. So as you can see here on the drop-in midsole, this isn't really a support feature, but it keeps your foot in place. So it has all this grip around the forefoot, and that just kind of grabs your sock and keeps everything in place. Your foot does not move at all. So for the Nike Zoom GT Cut, I would give this shoe a 9 out of 10 for support. So overall, the Nike Zoom GT Cut is actually my favorite Nike basketball shoe this year. I'm still waiting on the Nike Zoom GT Jump, but it just offers that Kobe-like setup. Obviously right now we're not getting any Kobes, but it just offers a lightweight setup with fantastic cushioning, pretty good traction depending on the colorway that you get, and fantastic support as well. I love the materials. I love that it feels broken in right out of the box. Support's great, and it offers that drop-in midsole setup as well, like I said, which I've always loved ever since they've introduced this. So I would be comfortable saying that this is a fantastic shoe, basically 1 through 5. If you like Kobe's, then you'll absolutely love the Nike Zoom GT Cut, like I said. But the only issue with this shoe, which is a huge issue, is availability. It's absolutely nowhere. This shoe is actually reselling for around $400 or $500 Canadian on StockX, which is super frustrating. I actually picked up these colorways early on when they first dropped, but I think once people started hearing that they were very Kobe-like as far as cushion and being a low top, lightweight, low to the ground, people just ate them up quick. I know the Nike Zoom GT Run is readily available. For me, that shoe just did not work as far as the setup, especially the upper on the materials. And I'm still waiting on the Nike Zoom GT Jump. I'm really waiting for that shoe. It has an awesome cushion setup. and just offers a great total package similar to this. And I know it also has neoprene on the toe box and the tongue as well, it looks like. So I'm still waiting on those, but as far as the Zoom GT Cut, if you can get a pair and you see them in store, I would grab them right away and then decide after you get home with them, trying them on and such. But as far as availability, that's this shoe's biggest issue. It's absolutely nowhere. I don't know if it's a supply chain issue or what, but I'm hoping in 2022, Nike will make a ton of colorways, or maybe even put a bunch of Eastbay colorways on Eastbay where you have the solid upper with like maybe a white check. Make them in green, red, yellow, orange, purple, everything. Bring them all out, because this shoe is so great, but it's not available, so no one can try it. I have a lot of friends who are actually looking for this shoe, but it's nowhere, and it's reselling for astronomical prices on the secondary market. So hopefully in 2022, Nike can get that straightened out. But other than that, I think this is a fantastic shoe, great for guards, basically any player, and offers great cushion, but it's still low to the ground, and it has that drop-in midsole setup, which I love so much from the Kobe shoes, which just aren't available anymore, unfortunately. So that's going to be it today for the Nike Zoom GT Cut performance review. Absolutely an awesome performer. As always, if you could like and subscribe, that would be great. We'll see you next time. Peace.